Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's Joint Enabling Committee on the 2nd of March. I think we're all here, but first item on the agenda, Steve, is apologies for absence.
We've had apologies from Linda Tyler Lloyd.
Okay.
Well, anyway, we've had apologies.
Not on this committee anyway.
No, never mind.
I did say she was apologising. So
just covering herself, yeah.
Just in case. Apologise for every meeting in case you're supposed to be on it.
That's right.
Item 2 on the agenda, declarations of interest. Anybody?
Nope.
No.
So. Item 3, minutes of the last meeting. I wasn't at it, so I can't vouch that they are true record, but somebody can.
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
Yeah.
Do we got a proposal and a seconder?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm happy with that.
I'm happy.
Lovely. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the Future Generations Report 2020. See additional document folder. I tried looking for it, but I can't find it.
I can't find it either. I was going to ask about that.
Well, we're still waiting for Helen Nelson to produce it and come to the meeting.
Oh dear.
Has she had? Have you been able to have any contact with her at all?
Well, I've obviously sent her the invite.
Yeah, but I mean, she's not.
Not in between. No, I'm afraid.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be worth. Have you got her work email address?
I think, yes, I do have a work email.
I'm just wondering whether it might be worth just dropping her a line saying, you know, we haven't heard from her in some time. Is she still willing to sit on the committee? And if not, then, you know, would she be prepared to at least come, you know, as a speaker to discuss the report?
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll do that. No problem.
Yeah.
So we'll defer Steve the next meeting, or until we can get hold of.
Well, it'd be ideal if we can get her in for the next one, because we have been waiting some time, haven't we?
We have. We either need to address it ourselves, or she'll come in next time. We can't wait any longer. So.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll defer that to the next meeting, or as soon as she can show herself available to us. Item 5, revised standing orders draft. See additional document folder.
Right now.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Are we got any comments on it, or want to raise any issues with it, or are we happy to?
Could I come in? Could I come in? I was just wondering if this is a tad premature as yet, because I thought we were having One Voice Wales review our committee structures, and we haven't had that report as yet. So I was just wondering if it's a tad premature, because I understood we were due to have that pretty soon, Steve.
Carrie?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Carrie?
But yeah, really it was just because we did actually resolve to make these changes at full council, 2-3 months ago, maybe a bit longer. So really, we should have standing orders that reflect the resolutions of full council. So even if we have to change them again, I think we should, you know, have those, because if there is any dispute, it's difficult to sort of say, well, we agreed it at full council, but it's not on standing orders.
Yeah, you know, that's a valid thing. I just wanted to see what Steve's point of view was on it. Bearing in mind we're still waiting to hear on that. And have we got, because the last I understood, Steve, I thought we were supposed to be hearing pretty imminently on that.
Yes, yeah, well, I'm expecting something from Paul Egan any day. I thought he'd finished it, but
so I think
I'll
maybe
him up before the next meeting on that.
I was going to say it'd be good then if we can get it before the next meeting, because otherwise we're going to be into AGM and goodness knows what.
Shall we, in the interim, then adopt these draft ones, so there is something in place if anything crops up before? I mean, the next meeting is a month off, so if we adopt these in the meantime, we can always amend.
Yeah,
I got no problem.
I think that's the best thing to do. Everybody happy with that?
Yeah, just make sure that we are, you know, compliant, as it were.
Yeah, any dispute or whatever.
Yeah, which, as we know, is always possible.
So we all happy to adopt the drafts? what are we calling? Standing orders, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the screens, yeah. Okay, lovely. We'll adopt them, Steve, and then if we need to make amendments further down the line, we can do that.
Yeah.
Following the One Voice Wales report. That's if we state that in the we state that in the minutes that following One Voice Wales report, we might have to amend the
we can revisit if necessary, can't we?
And I'm sure there's going to be new ones in the post-COVID world to do with hybrid meetings and how they operate.
Oh, that's true.
Well, to be honest, there was a couple of little things like that I was going to raise, but I think exactly what Gareth is suggesting there. Let's adopt this for now, and then because there could be other things coming out, as you sort of said, in the post-COVID world, because this is coming up. We had a very in-depth discussion. I don't want to go off on a tangent at the governor's meeting with Bishop Gore School the other day about how we're going to conduct governors' meetings in the future, and this whole sort of thing about whether they are going to continue to be remote, or whether they're going to be hybrid, or whether they're going to go back to being face-to-face. But I think we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, really.
Ours at the moment in school is all Zoom anyway.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. But
Harry?
Yeah, just, I mean, Steve, has there been any kind of inkling of any decision on, hybrid meetings or whatever, either from Welsh Government or One Voice Wales? Has anything sort of filtered through that they're looking at?
Not at the moment, no. I mean, it's due, but I think the answer I always get is they're concentrating on COVID at the moment, and minds elsewhere. It's plus there's elections, so that's.
Well, yes. I mean, this is what I was thinking, because if it's not done in the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, then nothing's going to happen until after the election.
No.
Because everything goes into Herder, doesn't it, from whatever it is, 6 weeks before, which is, let's say, pretty imminent.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the draft council's remuneration policy. You all have a chance to read that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the issue is that obviously we can't just say, oh, we'll do the same as last year, because at the moment we're in a position where we found ourselves with 6 committees, which is slightly excessive. So it's difficult. There's because there aren't enough chairs' remunerations to go round 6 committees.
No.
I think, is it maximum 5? I think, isn't it, Steve?
The remuneration matched the number of committees we had at the time, didn't it?
Yeah. Which was 4 plus JEC, which was 5. Well, now, of course, we've got 5 plus JEC, which, I mean, in my view, is too many. I mean, I think we do whatever Paul's review comes back with. I think we might need to rethink how we organize it, because I mean it just becomes unmanageable, because I mean particularly for Steve and Paul, they must be spending practically every evening at one meeting or subcommittee or whatever. So I think it is something we need to think about quite seriously.
So do we need to amend it now, the policy?
Well,
because it's paid, each chair of committee gets extra, doesn't they? But every councillor gets 150 or whatever it says in the
that's mandatory. We don't have, that's not, it's
that's from One Voice Wales,
mandatory things, which is the payment to the chair, I think payment to the vice chair,
then payment to all chairs,
and then the 5, but we're not allowed to give out more than 5. And we've got 6 committees. That's the issue.
Well, surely this should be something then that will come up in the review of the committees.
I would hope so. But if it doesn't, it is something we do. We've got to make some sort of provision as to how we split. Because it is a limit. It's a legal limit. We can't fiddle around with it, unfortunately.
No.
We can give less, but we can't give more.
No.
Chair, can I ask whether the committee were happy with Paul's suggestion that payments are made on the 30th September each year?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, if you're happy with that's one of the, if you're happy with that, I think we can just defer this until.
Yeah, because it gives us time.
Yeah, so that gives us time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That might be the answer,
obviously,
Steve.
normally we agree at the AGM, but we can obviously defer it, can't we, at the AGM and say that it will be something that will be reviewed later.
Yeah. Everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Yep,
and maybe we could chase Paul up as well about this review a little bit.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Item 7, Mumbles Tennis Courts Community Consultation.
Right. I couldn't find, this wasn't on OneDrive as far as I could see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think it should be.
Yeah, because I was going to say Alan has put through around the document. Have you seen that, Carrie? Have you been copied into that?
No, I haven't seen it.
No, I was going to say this is it. I'm not. That's why I assumed it would be in in OneDrive, because not everybody's seen it.
No.
It was intended to be there, Chair, so I do apologise.
Okay. We can see. Don't read it. Where were we at with these tennis courts? Were we going to get advice first or something? Is these the ones on the ones in the village or Carswell? These are the village ones.
The village ones, these are. Yeah.
Is it possible, Steve, for you to, I can't remember how long they are, to put them up on the screen for us to just have a look at?
Listen, they're not very long.
No, I was going to say, I don't think there's a huge amount, is there?
No.
Do you want to go on to another item, and I'll be looking those up in the meantime rather than
Yeah, okay.
Wait.
Well, we move on to item 8 and we'll come back to this then. Marketing report and newsletter update. So who's going first? Phil or Claire? Take your pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, go Pip, and I'll talk about the newsletter and you go on the marketing.
Okay, great. Thanks, Claire. Carry on. Ladies first.
You, Claire.
No, I said
Take it away, Phil. Go on, you go first, Phil.
You go first.
Okay. Well, we continue to hold the Friday meeting, Claire, myself, and Steve, and we continue to liaise with SA1. We're at a point now where Steve's asking for the choice of iPads or laptops from councils. I don't know how many you've got back in, Steve, at the moment, but I did mine this afternoon. But that's something that we're trying to get quotes for, because it's not just a question of buying them, they're going to be set up as well. So the quote is a little bit complicated. We have found another company now. I don't know if you've had a chance to speak to them yet, Steve. It was only this morning I sent you the details, but
I haven't yet, Pip, no.
No. Okay, well, we're going to wait for this other company who set up, like SA1, they set up computers.
Right.
So we're just waiting for that. So just bear with us on that if you could, to make sure we get the best deal. And I think really what we discussed on Friday was basically the newsletter. We went through it and we made a couple of alterations, Claire, didn't we? Perhaps you better take it on from there, really.
Yeah.
So before we move on to the newsletter, can I just say, could we try and set some sort of a deadline for purchase of this new equipment? Because there are some councillors who are completely stuck at the moment because they haven't got access to decent technology.
Okay, well, should we say by the end of March? Would that be okay?
I think we said
I would prefer it sooner if possible.
Chair,
Okay.
yeah, sorry to interrupt, Councillor Reason, but I think we said by the end of this week. Tried all of them.
Okay, it's on.
But having said that, I've done 2 reminders now, and I've got about 6 people yet to reply. So
I hope you've had mine.
yeah. You wanted the Apple Air Mac, didn't you?
Oh, me? No.
Yeah, I'll have one of those. That would be lovely.
Me too.
And the personalised AirPods, like.
Yes.
It's a bit of a Labour thing, apparently. I don't know.
What games do you want, Martin?
Could I make a suggestion that I mean, that this committee can agree that if people don't respond, then they automatically get an iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
a bit.
Because, you know, it's not fair for some people to be left waiting just because some other people haven't bothered to respond.
Well, like you said, Steve, you've sent 3 reminders, 2 of the initial plus 2 reminders. If people can't be bothered to reply, what do you get? What do you give them? I think that's the answer.
Yeah.
Could I just say that if we go for the end of this week, it may mean we won't get a 3rd quote. What do you think about if we go with 2 quotes?
No, I'll get a 3rd quote, Pip. Don't worry.
You can you?
Yeah.
Right, okay. And that includes the setup as well, Steve.
He'll write it himself if necessary.
It's his own company, I've heard.
Yeah.
It just it's a next door neighbour of mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Before, but
that you met in the pub. Yes, I heard about these runs.
Yeah.
Sorry, Councillor,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt. Yeah, fortunately, SA1 gave us the quote this time with the putting it on as a separate quote, so we can compare like with like. So we can go to eWorld or whatever and get a quote from them, and we'd go whoever's the cheapest, and then ask SA1 to configure them. So it's easy process.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the end of this week, that would, you know, I think that's, as Gareth said, you know, when people have had 3 reminders, really that's sufficient.
Okay, fine. Steve, you okay with that then?
Yes, thanks, Councillor.
Great, okay, thank you very much.
Claire?
Claire?
Right, I'll share my screen. And we'll just have a look at the, so this is not the final draft. In fact, it's more like a first draft. Can you all see that?
Yes.
So this is the,
that's nice.
There are going to be some changes, obviously, but this is, a lot of this I've only seen today for the first time. So of course, like anything, they will have tweaks, but we'll go through what we've got so far, and I'll try and make it fairly quick, because if anyone's got anything, you know, that they really want to query, we can touch on it tomorrow rather than, you know, well, whatever, do as you wish. But this is the front cover. So
nice.
Alluding to the lights, and then Underhill and the skate park, 2 big stories. We've got a cover line under there, which needs to be slightly changed. And then we've got Martin, I did message you about slightly adapting your letter, and
I've got to update it. Yes, I know.
Well, maybe just
things are moving on so quickly.
I know things have changed, and it just needs a tiny bit cut, if that's possible.
Okay, I'll get onto that tomorrow morning.
Okay, this is the skate park, and this is basically how it all began, and it's a lovely account from Pam, talking about how her and Sarah started it all off, and how they really didn't understand the jargon of the skateboard speak, and how Tomsk and Jamo were adopted to translate. And there are some, you know, lovely little quips in there from them, so it's quite light-hearted.
Yeah, it's lovely.
A different angle on it. Now, this is from MCA. So we can, you know, I can send this to you to have a good read through and a good look at, but it was sent to me by Fiona, and I've had a look through. It looks good to me. Pip, you've seen it too, haven't you? And Steve.
Yeah, it looks good. And I think that a picture of Underhill looks better as well, because Steve and I just wanted to make it not look like a background, but an actual, you know, the actual way.
It's a good picture, that.
I think that would be good as well, because, you know, there has been sort of some stuff on social media sort of implying that we're building all over Underhill Park.
Yeah, so it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that will put it more into perspective, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so impressive for sports there. It's really good. And then there's a call out for teenagers as well to really get involved and help shape the future of the park. So we've done a little call out there as well, which is great.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, really, really good. And then there's a bit more, you know, there's a time frame. And what's in place, what's already in place. Oh, that's what's already in place, what's already in place. That's in twice. I just spotted a bit of an error there. So that needs a good look at. But obviously it's, you know, what's in place and what's, you know, to happen probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Underhill. Then we've got a little page on festoon lights and the mention that we're going to look at lighting on Picket Mead in Newton. There's also a mention here we're going to potentially look at lighting Newton Road with festoon lights above all the shop fascia, and also perhaps the cliff faces as well, depending on how well that goes. That's all positive, and just alluding to how it's going to really enhance our tourism here in Mumbles. And we're not overly pushing on the copy, because actually we didn't want to make it too copy heavy, but if anyone feels like there needs to be more copy, please shout. But I've tried to get a balance, but tear it apart. I'm open to everybody's suggestions. So this is a page here. We've got comments on the Twinning Association here, where we teamed up with Maryland last year to run some virtual videos, Carrie, didn't we?
We did,
and
yeah.
Then,
no, they were really good, yeah.
And then we've got the thank you alluding to our COVID response there, and Rebecca receiving the award from the Rotary Club. And then we've got this mention of the National Health Service and Social Care Day on the 5th of July, which will hopefully become an annual event. And that I haven't had much room, as you can see, to do an awful lot on it, even though there was loads of information, but I have put the website at the bottom where everything is, so they'll have to just sort of find their way there themselves, or once again they can always make contact. All our details are on the back of the newsletter, so if anyone needs more of anything.
Yeah, can I suggest that perhaps that's something that we should, as JEC, recommend goes on to a future council agenda, because we might want to actually do something as a community council for that day.
Definitely, Carrie, and it's not too late to talk about the events. We've spoken about it in culture and tourism, haven't we, Pip?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's definitely, I mean, at the moment, of course, we've still got restrictions, and so we're very limited in what we can discuss and plan, but we were hoping to get the local cadets involved, and maybe doing a bit of a fundraising day, flying of the flags, ringing of the bells. There's lots to do, and maybe even encouraging people to celebrate it slightly like we did with VE Day last year. Maybe bring out the bunting, you get on your road or in your front gardens and chat to your neighbours. Anyway, there's lots to talk about, but we'd be happy to have the conversation.
It'd be worth getting the schools involved as well.
That would be brilliant. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah,
so it's definitely something I think we should put on the agenda, and then different people can be kind of given tasks to do, like contact the schools, or talk to the cadets, sort out bunting, whatever.
Well, we're sort of halfway through this in culture, but of course with the restrictions, everyone's so scared to plan anything. But we have got it on our agenda for follow-up in the next meeting, so we can let you know what happens there.
Well, we can raise the schools at that, Carrie.
Yes.
No, that would be good.
If you've got any suggestions,
be nice to get the schools involved.
Yeah.
So then moving on to the next spread, which is DIY SOS coming to Caswell, and MCC did have a little handle in this, which is why it's in our newsletter. We arranged for them to have their Traders Day in the Ostream. We spoke with MCA. Not MCA, we thanked the Ostream Centre in the text, and we arranged for all the team to come there and all the traders to come and sign up, look at the plans. So that was quite a fundamental day in their production. So yeah, that was really good. So they've sent me loads of pictures. I interviewed Ben, who was one of he's the co-owner, I think co-founder. There are two Bens, but anyway, it's not too copy heavy. There's plenty of images.
That's great.
And some quotes, and in this blue box here is a quote from Ash and the DIY SOS team, who I've had plenty of conversations with, and they just said what a lovely community we were to deal with and how we made everything happen for them. So that was really nice. Okay, moving on to the next page is for Southend Gardens. Could the outdoor dining be here to stay? So there's a nice piece here on how it helped the community and how one of the traders has done a nice quote at the end, saying how grateful they are to MCC and to Swansea Council for making this happen and how it changed things for them during what was an awful year for hospitality. Next, Langland Tennis Courts. Sorry, there should be an S on Langland Tennis Courts there. I'm spotting a few little typos as I go.
Yeah.
You can tell I haven't quite done the nitty gritty here. So we've got information on Langland Tennis Courts, and then a piece, just a sentence or so in there about our expression of interest via Will Thomas, and you know, how we're hoping that something will come of that. Obviously, there wasn't much to write about that at the moment because we're still very much in a waiting game and what happens next with that situation, but it has a mention there. Then we have Steve, I sent this copy to you with regards to Mumbles Tennis Courts following our conversation with Alan, and I know you wanted to make some changes to it, so that will probably need to be looked at, please. I'll send you this tomorrow later if you like, but I'm very mindful that this isn't 100% correct, that copy there, that you might need to just have a good look at that, please. Okay. Then we've got something on the Ostream from Ian Scott, and then we move on to Maddie's environmental mumbles, which is fab. So Maddie's got 2 double-page spreads here about all the different initiatives she's got going on, which are fantastic. And I have to say, I think Mike's done a really lovely job of designing environmental here as well.
Yeah.
That's better, Claire, that top page.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, nice, it's looking good. And then we've got the, you know, the plastic cups, plastic-free mumbles. So I like the way everything's sectioned because it draws your eye to the fact that each feature is separate. When you've got so much copy and so many images, you don't want to be hunting to see what goes with what. You need it to be blocked off, I think, with colour to keep it easier on the eye. I love that picture of Maddie with her mask on there. That's cool, isn't it?
That's good, isn't it?
And then Carrie, this is a little bit of your page here. This is the final page. That white block isn't finished.
Oh,
this is the unfinished bit, and we thought, because we had a space here, and then I realized I hadn't done anything on the mumbles team, so we've actually had a bit of jigsaw maneuvering going on this afternoon to try and get everything in. So the images that you supplied weren't high res enough.
Oh no, so they were just taken on my phone.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to try and get something. Mike said he'd try and get something offline, if there was something online for those loos. I don't know if we can.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought so. But what, I mean, perhaps otherwise.
I can go down, Maddie. Carrie, sorry, I'm getting my names muddled. I can pop down and take a couple tomorrow. We just need to get the Survey Monkey link up here and live on the
Steve's
website.
Got that.
Yeah. So that just needs to be popped on. So that's there's one outstanding piece.
Yeah, because it would be good to have the pictures. It just, you know, otherwise that page is all a bit, you know, wordy.
Do you think we need all of the toilets, or if I could just get a few?
I suppose it's difficult, isn't it? Because we mention all of them, but I guess you could just do a few.
If we got then maybe is Langland included?
No, Langland's now been taken out, and Oystermouth Square at the moment we haven't heard back whether that would be included or not. So the key ones are Southend Gardens, Oystermouth Castle, Nabrock, Bracelet Bay, Klein Gardens and Blackhill.
Loads of them. I don't know if I'll have time to get around.
I'm
going on a public toilet tour tomorrow morning. Yay.
I've got many. Do you want to do some and I'll do the others?
I think you only need one image just to highlight the fact it's toilets. So we're looking at it.
I tell you what I'll do. How about I go to Oystermouth Castle and Southend Gardens tomorrow morning and just take a shot of both of those? That would
Southend Gardens, just to warn you, today they were pressure washing the Crazy Golf, and the toilets were surrounded in huge puddles of water and hose pipes and ladders, and so they're
working on the roof of the toilets as well.
I could do Klein Gardens, which is quite a pretty one.
Are you heading that way anyway, Carrie?
I can go and take the dog for walking, Klein,
brilliant.
and take that photo. I'll make sure I do a high-res photo.
Thank you. That would be great because I can't
so
get
if you
there
can
tomorrow.
do, if you do the castle and I'll do Klein.
Okay, fab. Thanks, Carrie. Great. Okay, moving on. We've got here, I need some advice on this. We might need to move pages around. This is our, basically a cut down version of our press release. I've removed the MCA quote and I've just done our quote because it's our newsletter. I don't know what you think about that.
Do we need this as well as when it's already written on the previous page?
Yeah.
It seems duplication, really.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, we've already got it earlier on in the news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So do you we can remove it, that's fine. I just need to come up with a plan for that page. So if everyone can be having a think about what we can pop on it.
I'll have a look at it because I think maybe what has happened, you know, in the intervening period, this is what I was saying about my bit. Things have moved on, haven't they?
Yeah.
Things have moved on in relation to COVID, and things have moved on in relation to our permission for the loan application. So I think if we just make sure that we've got it all in the one thing rather than duplicating it, because it'll just, I worry, confuse people really.
Yes.
Okay, because Fiona's asked for the pages to be approved. She wants the pages. And I just said, look, I really need to run them past everybody first to get approval. But obviously, you know, now I'm at sort of a stage where I do really need to move with it.
Yes.
So Martin, if I forward you this tonight, can we have a chat about it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Great.
can I just question? I don't, you know, not wanting to sound picky, but this is our newsletter. It's not MCA's newsletter, so it's us that agree it, not MCA.
I know. They just wanted to see their pages. That was all. They just wanted to see theirs. But I know, Carrie. I know what you're saying.
No, we've
so if necessary, we use our page rather than theirs because I don't see why we should be.
We had this discussion with MCA before or in relation to the film we did on Underhill Park, where they just wanted to pull it, and you know it doesn't work like that. As you sort of said, it's our newsletter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, we do want to keep the communication channels open.
Sure.
As well. Yeah.
But I just think, you know, that at the end of the day, whatever goes in is okayed by MCC ultimately.
Yes, of course. Of course, Carrie.
Could we, Martin, perhaps, any chance we could, if you cut your piece a bit, because you said some of it might be a bit dated, can we integrate a couple of these pictures into it, onto your page?
Well, yeah, you know, shall we have a look at doing that maybe tomorrow?
Yeah, I like that one.
Maybe integrate your comments into.
Because
so that it's all. It actually comes together as a joint.
Yes, exactly.
You know, rather than this is MCA's bit and this is our bit.
Yeah,
you know, have it so it's all integrated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that cafe shot. I think that's rather nice.
I love it. It's really good. I do think it should be somewhere in there. But can everybody just have a little think? Not now, but I need to fill a page now. So we're not going to print tomorrow, but still, we'll move on. Okay, so this is the grant. There's 3 pages of the grant allocations. Right. So we've got Mumbles Rangers with the dugout and the mini goals, the £6,000 that we gave them. Oystermouth School for their play area, Sculpture by the Sea, Lower Norton Allotment Group, Twinnings grants with a plaque. Carrie, I'm mindful I've got the wrong image there, so I think I'll need to change that. Upper Norton Field allotments, and there's also the Lighthouse Theatre with another Twinning grant there as well.
Right, so, sorry, Claire, so you need a photo of the...
Well, do you think that, I don't know if that sign, it talks about the slate, it talks about a plaque presented by Mumbles.
Ah, right. No, this is, hang on. No, right. That actually, the middle paragraph of those 3. was actually covered in the previous newsletter, because that was about when we presented them with the plaque. So
should we have a quick chat about it in the morning?
Yeah, we did see how we can
because I want to get it right, but obviously
Yeah.
I'm not as knowledgeable in this the twinning process as you, so
yeah,
you might be able to guide me.
Rebecca and myself, we can have a little chat about it and
Okay.
agree what we
Okay,
want.
fine. Then moving on to our double page spread of councillors. There you all are.
We've left committees off
Fabulous.
space, okay?
Pardon?
We've left committees off this because of space.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've
Yeah,
left
no, that's fine.
committees.
Yeah.
And everything's updated on the website, so you can find all that information
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
And then Paul needs to really go through these budget pages to just make sure everything's absolutely right on there. That's the final double page spread with budget. And then this is the outside back.
Yeah. Great.
I just need to change the page numbers on the bottom there because they've changed in this issue.
Yeah, if you, because obviously, as you say, we've got a spare page now. Maybe if you could just email this out to everyone, we can all kind of go through and see if something jumps out at us thinking, oh, we haven't got anything on.
Okay,
whatever.
the only thing I will say is, I know this is going to hopefully not come out wrong, but it's quite tricky when something goes out to too many people
To a committee,
and
yeah.
then nobody responds and you're on a deadline and everybody then comes back with loads of different ideas and you can only manage, certain ideas, and then I don't know where the cutoff point is.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So I guess I'm going to need to have a deadline on this.
Oh,
so
yes.
What do you think? What would be realistic to you
Friday.
all? If I send it to you all,
Yeah.
when can you all realistically look at it and come back to me?
Well, I think you have to tell us that.
Yeah, I think Friday is a good deadline.
Yeah.
This is what you've talked about already.
Come on,
Claire.
everybody. Steve wants to come as a point of order, I think.
So, yeah, sorry, the deadline, it's going to bed on Friday.
Yeah.
So the deadline would have to be tomorrow night for any
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
I'll send it to you straight after. I'll send it to you all straight after the
Yeah.
meeting. And if I could just have any comments or ideas, that would be really great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just thinking of, something might kind of jump out at one of us thinking, we did that and that's not been mentioned anywhere. So we could put something about that in the page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Pip and Martin, with discussions on manoeuvring the borrowing approval page, Martin's letter, etc. Are you going to deal with that, Martin, or are we going to get together to deal with it? And if so, when, please?
I'm trying to think. I'll have a go at that tomorrow morning. And are you available then if I message you and then we can arrange something from there?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Okay.
great. Sorry, I sound really bossy.
No, you got to be
on
bossy.
deadline.
That's what you got to be. That's
Okay.
You're
Can
doing
I
your
just
job.
say, Gareth, can I just, Chairman, can I just, so Mark, if we can try and integrate that cafe pavilion picture into your report, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
I was thinking, Phil, if we're going to do the photo shoot of some of the toilets as well, they'll add in that box to get bigger. That might take up half the spare page anyway.
True.
Good plan. Because I think Maddie had something else going over to Martin anyway. So that's
okay.
good. And maybe what I do is stretch out the twinning page, which was already stretched out, and I make more of the NHS day on the other half of that page next to Carrie's survey.
Rather than go looking for extra stuff, Claire, use what you've got and just spread it out a bit more. Might be easier.
Yeah.
Be quicker.
Or maybe add in some.
I can add a little to it. I had to really cut it back, so I wouldn't mind adding another para.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you think you can fill it, I'm just trying to think if there's any other photographs of anything that we haven't kind of covered already.
Okay.
Claire, can I suggest that we have a chat with Mike tomorrow, because he's the designer. He might come up with some ways, and if we're still short of a photo or some text, we could do an SOS. Could
Yeah.
to everyone.
I think I've sorted it in my head. I'll send you an email when I send this around. I think I've got it. I think I've got it covered. I'm talking to Mike round the clock at the moment, Steve. I think he's sick to death of talking to me. So, but yeah, we can definitely come. I'll just send you what my plan is now in my head after the meeting, and hopefully you'll be okay. But anyway,
something
that's
that
it.
sort of sprung to mind immediately is, which is sort of related to COVID and things. We haven't actually, there's not anything particularly about kind of how our local businesses have been, been able to cope in COVID, what support we've given them. Maybe there could be a little paragraph about the help we've given to local businesses.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, it's been such a lockdown. We haven't, had much to do with a lot of them. I mean, we've done the odd
Well, even if it's
spotlight
just
post.
saying, that we've been regularly promoting them on the website, or, thanking them for, being able to, provide delivery services or whatever. Not specifically mentioning any individual business, just a kind of general thank you to how they've and sort of provided a ongoing service through lockdown.
Okay.
Just a thought, just something that might use up a little space.
Yeah, I will sort it, but I think in my head I have got it. So I think if we spread out a few things, I actually think we're probably on target with everything.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Claire, just talk us through the run out then of it. Could you quickly?
Do you mean the distribution?
Yeah.
So that's the next thing. This is what I've come up with today. I've got a close friend who works for Pobble Group, and she is she's closely connected to risk to various rules and regulations, and unfortunately we're not allowed, and also Miles has told us we are not allowed to distribute. It's just leafleting is just not allowed. So I think we're going to have to go through the local post office, unless we wait to come out of tier 4, which could be next week, couldn't it? Or was it the week after next?
Yeah,
could be March the 15th, couldn't it?
Yeah, something like, yes, I was going to say it's mid-March, I think, possibly.
It's only just over another week,
Because for the sake of that, could save us quite a lot of money rather than go.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't know if restrictions will be lifted on leafleting within that tier. I don't know where the parameters lie.
No, we don't, do we?
Steve, Gareth, can I suggest, Steve, is anybody you could talk to in one voice about this?
Yeah, I can certainly ask whether they've got any ideas, of course.
If you could, I could help. I'm just thinking it's going to save us a lot of money if we just hang on a bit, perhaps. It needs to go out by the end of March, doesn't it? I think, Claire.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it to have gone out by, well, we did say sort of early March, but mid-March would be fine.
Yeah.
If we could think about, I mean, we were hoping to go to print this week. If it gives us an extra few days, that's fine, that's fine by everybody. But what we don't want is the already written and designed copy to start becoming out of date. And then you're looking at rewriting, that becomes frustrating.
Yeah.
So, that we've got, sorry, Pip.
I think it'd be prudent to wait till the 12th, till it's the first minute of the week, and then we'll make a call then, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
Sounds like
Yeah,
a
good
idea.
plan.
Because it might change. We might get lucky.
Yeah.
We're all hoping we get lucky.
And then so if we do get lucky, then the plan then would be to distribute in the same manner that we did last summer. And we we pay some of the local teenagers. We allocated different routes to a handful of teenagers across our 4 wards, and who very gratefully took on the work, you know, especially during lockdown, and they did a great job. You know, it was a really good exercise, and it was a bit of a win-win situation for everybody involved. So with any luck, you know, we can do that again, because it was a successful little enterprise. So hopefully we'll do that again.
If you think about it, Claire, they went out quite quickly, didn't they? I mean, literally,
It was done within the weekend.
I was in the office with you distributing, and by the time I got back home, my magazine was to my letterbox.
Brilliant.
That's the way it works. I mean, it was good.
No, I mean, it's brilliant. It's really you know, if we're allowed and if they're able to do it, I mean, it's a great way of doing it. And they say it helps them out as well.
Yeah, it would be great. I hope that that's going to be the outcome.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Steve, do we want to go back to the thing now, or should we finish off the agenda then go back?
Well, let's go back now. Shall I just share it now?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Claire.
Thanks, Claire.
Thanks, Claire.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job.
Thanks, Carrie.
Can you all see that now?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll just let you read it, but essentially at the end, you'll see that what really needs to happen is the subgroup who participated in need to get together and decide on the next steps. And there's just one other document that came with that. You can just I'll put that up.
Well, just while waiting for that, if it just come in, if you don't mind, Chair. Just sort of saying that, you know, we have received communication from one of the residents making the point, which I think was a very valid point as well, that it'd be important to involve the youngsters, the ones who hang about on the bowling green at the moment.
Absolutely.
Because obviously they are stakeholders as well.
Yeah, very much so. I think you know, young people, I think, are key to the whole thing. I think we have to make sure, however we do this consultation, that we do find a way to make sure that young people have every opportunity to participate in it.
Well, that's what I mean, because in the document that we got there, it says particularly about schools, but obviously, you know, schools have got their pluses and minuses.
Yes.
Of engaging with young people. Like.
Sure.
We do have local young people down there, though, Chair, as part of the consultation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I just wanted to sort of reiterate that point, really.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely key, Martin.
Yeah.
And, you know, it might involve, you know, assuming we're allowed, you know, actually, you know, a couple of us just going down and talking to them.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. You know, I've been
Yeah.
involved in stuff like that before, and I find that quite an effective methodology, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Because that's where they are. That's where you're going to find them. Like.
Yep, definitely.
That's good, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Steve.
That's a second. Sorry about
So
that.
it goes back to the subgroup to take it to the next step. Then that's the recommendation from that initial meeting.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chair.
We all happy with that?
Yeah.
Yep. So what's the timetable for it?
Well, Chair, just Alan and I kept on missing each other today, and it's kind of our own tag. But so I was going to discuss that with him. So
Okay.
Yeah.
let you know. What
Okay. Lovely. Thanks,
Yeah,
Steve.
because it would be good to not lose the momentum. You know, we want to try and be able to keep moving it forward if we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Item 9, financial reviews. I think we've all seen the reports from Paul. I didn't find anything wrong. I said to Paul they all looked okay. So
All look kosher to me. Yeah.
I don't think I saw any. Where were they?
Paul sent them to me. I don't know if anybody else saw them.
I don't think we got them. No, I think they just came to you.
Okay. I didn't see anything. Everything looked good on there. You know, the ones, each committee had their own budgets. Nothing looked to me. And Paul didn't have any issues with them anyway. So.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. I was going to say, I think the main thing is just to make sure that there's no sort of, you know, money that should have been spent or could be spent this year.
No, Paul didn't raise any concerns whatsoever.
He didn't. Okay.
I'll go on Paul's advice.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's fine.
And the last item on the agenda is reports and requests from committees. I don't know if anybody got anything from any committee. I haven't. Anything committee, Steve?
Can I just say on this? Yeah, I mean, what's happening is these. We're having a staff meeting every Tuesday, and these things are now starting to be reported directly at that. For example, say Paul's attended an economic committee and there's something you want publicised. So although they're not be coming up here, the process is actually happening quite well at the moment, I think, with
okay.
Things are good.
If it's not broken, we won't fix it.
So presumably, sorry, just to sort of clarify that, Steve. So what we should be doing, say at environmental, is sort of saying to you, can you please bring this up at the staff meeting?
That's right. Well,
if there's particular things we want putting out on the website or putting out on social media or anything.
Yeah.
And in fact, Maddie leads that, and she.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. Yes.
I'm doing X on social media, and I'm doing this. So it is. I think you probably all agree it's starting to get much more effective, isn't it?
Slicker, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose community and social is the one where you need to make sure that you're picking up stuff, because obviously Claire goes to tourism and Maddie, as you say, is environmental.
Yeah, cultural is okay.
Yeah, we need to make sure that community and social that you perhaps need to kind of reiterate to them. Have you got anything you want me to take to this back to the staff meeting?
Can I just say on that we've actually had 3 or 4 items in the Evening Post from that committee recently, if you think, because they're in charge of tennis court, skate park, Underhill. So in terms of things that are happening there, I think we are
good.
So it's working.
Yeah.
Great. Excellent. Well, no, if the system's working, that's brilliant.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is as far as I know, agenda. So thank you all very much for attending, and see you tomorrow at the next meeting.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
See you then.
Thanks, Gareth. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.